G'day YouTube, it's John Green on Green Ideas. Today I'm going to put up a shiplap wall from start to finish, and you can watch me right here on YouTube. Subscribe if you want. I'm very happy with the people who do subscribe. Some people ask serious questions about how to use paint machines and things. I appreciate it. You can see in the background the shiplap that's already finished. Looks pretty sweet. Perfectly level, of course. And I'll show you my level trick. Alright, so this one trick can keep your shiplap level from start to finish, and you only need one person to do it, and you don't need to measure after you've gone through the first step. So check this out. You need some screws, drill, and some kind of measuring device. I'm using this set square because it's got holes in it already that I can already use to measure where I want things. All you need is 2 screws at a consistent level on every board, basically in the same place, so I can carry the weight, so you don't have to do all the lifting yourself. The screws will hold the next board in place. Alright, so I go about 1 foot in. It doesn't really matter how you do it, but 2 screws, they need to be long enough that it bites into the wood enough, but it hangs out enough to hold the weight of the shiplap that's going on top. These are just floorboards. It'll be shiplap by the time I'm finished. Alright, so a couple of screws. Try to get you a close in. Try to film this. Like I said, I'll try. Okay. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I've just marked out a point on the set square where I put the screw in the hole. It's about 1 inch. On the bigger boards, 2 inches. Just screw in enough so the next board can sit on top of the screw. It doesn't really matter where you stick the screws as long as they're consistently on this parallel. I always put them in the same place so I can't really go wrong. You can double check. Yep, sweet. So I'm putting every screw into this depth, or this length, into the bit of wood. Again, it's probably hard to film because it's actually quite a sunny day here in Ireland. You wouldn't believe it, but such things do happen. Let's see if we can get a better view. Alright, I'm going to try to film this process so you get an idea what I'm doing, and it is deceptively difficult because of how sunny it is. Alright, see how we go. So I already have one. I have 3 fat boards and the rest are skinny boards. So 2 inches for the fat boards, 1 inch for the skinny boards. That's all I do. I do it consistently down the line, so the weight distribution is the same for each piece of wood. There's nothing to it. So these boards are done. That's all there is to it. Now I have to do these smaller boards. I was speaking to the guys over at Rogers in Ballymote, and they told me that there's a worldwide shortage of decking screws. This is a plasterboard screw, and a plasterboard screw has a thread all the way down to the bottom, and then it tapers here. This is a decking screw. It's a little different because the top end is blank or without a thread, so when it grabs the piece of deck, it pulls it tighter to the job, which is awesome. It also has a little tooth in here that cuts, sort of threads a hole for you as you're drilling. This one is just meant to basically go into drywall and then wood, so there's nothing to it, it's just one long thread. Doesn't even have a serrated edge or anything on the tip. Some of the bigger ones do. Sometimes the thread at the beginning is serrated to help bore a hole. Decking screws already have that. Sorry, my hands are oily. And I got the ones that are treated to last for 25 years in wet weather. And in Ireland, that can be taken for granted that it will be wet weather. So I'm using my drywall screws as my markers, the anchor points to put my boards onto. I'm using these decking screws, which are rare as hen's teeth at the moment. This is all of the decking screws in Ballymote right now. All of the decking screws of this size. You can get larger ones, I think 8 centimeter ones. They are still available, but the small average decking screw, I think they're 5 centimeters. This is the last of them. So I'm trying to be conservative and use these screws for my anchors and these screws to actually put up my shiplap, because nothing is better than decking screws for putting up decking. Alright, this time I just do 1 inch because the boards are shorter. And I have to use my decking screws. But that's okay, because I take these out at the end anyhow. Alright, 1 inch. Okay, that's all there is to it. So you've seen me put in the decking screws. At this point they're literally just placeholders. Put each one on top of the other. Come and I'll show you how I plan to do this. Like I said, my first board is always flat up against the posts. I like to do it that way because if the board is flat against the post, the first one anyway, I'm sure that no soil comes out from underneath. It's a more secure start to the process. So let's see. Quite sunny. I hope you can see what's going to happen here. And try to film it from a place that's most advantageous. I think you get a pretty good idea what's happening. Right, so I have 3 posts. 1, 2, 3. It's very rewarding when everything lines up. It's nice to see. Don't forget, one of the important tools besides the set square is going to be your spirit level. This bad boy, cheap as chips, but it'll make all your work look much better and stand up over time. That's what we really want. Oh, it's gorgeous. I don't know if I can show that to you, but I'll try it. Look at that. Can you see the bubble? I did test this yesterday, so it is level, but it held level overnight, whatever that's supposed to mean. And if I screw these in at these anchor points, every board after this will be equally level. And I can prove that by showing you the tops of the other fences. All of them are level because the very first board is level, and then every anchor point is in an equal position, so it can't go out of whack. The measurement can't change. The only thing that can be different is the board itself. Could be fatter or thinner, which could kind of slightly change things, but just slightly. Alright, it's a blazingly hot day today here in Ireland. I'm going to show you how I put this thing together. Maybe the rest of this will happen in fast forward, but as I said, it's easy. Number 1, make sure your boards are dry before you oil them or stain them. These boards I double oiled because they're going to be, all of these boards are going to be up against the soil forever. So they've been oiled twice over different days, so they absorb more oil. Especially try to put them in the sunlight so they dry up. Keep your anchor points equal along the way, and there's not much more to recommend. If your first board is flat, if your first board is level, every board after it, I guarantee, will be level. I guarantee. And if it's not, you can leave a message or whatever, and I'll tell you what happened. You know, to be completely honest, this is the most pleasurable part of building the retaining wall. All the digging is a pain in the arse. Moving all of this soil was back-breaking. I was getting at least 10,000 steps in the garden every day, sweating myself into oblivion. But this portion is lots of fun, and you can do it within, say, half an hour. This will be up. Half an hour, this will be complete. And then the only thing I do is I put one last coat of oil on, just to make sure it's protected. And that's that. We'll film it, I'll talk about it, we can pat each other on the back, have a beer. Well worth the effort. The important thing is that the posts need to be concreted and supported. Without that, the wall may fail. But these posts look awesome. Alright, I've fixed in the very first board. The rest of it will be easy peasy. Alright, I'll put a few small ones at the bottom, the fat ones in the middle, and a few more small ones at the top. So just watch the process. Hey, honey.
You got a parcel.
Excellent.
It feels like light bulbs. I put it upstairs.
Thank you. All right, my battery's about to run out. I'm just about done. Thank you for watching the presentation. As you can see, all I have to do now is take out my supporting screws. The wall is done, but you do need to put in some long 8cm screws, at least one on each post, so 3 on each minimum, maybe 2 even, and sink them really deep. So all of the decking screws hold everything in place, but don't forget to put in some big 8cm deep screws right in the middle of each board basically. Thanks for watching. My name's John Green. This is Green Ideas. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you like my wall that I'm making.